It's fascinating how most guys kind of stumble through life convinced that the only ways to impress a woman involve flashing cash, relying solely on killer looks, or turning on this overwhelming charm offensive. It's like this default setting, you know? But here's the thing. What if I told you that the real magic, the actual key to unlocking genuine attraction, isn't found on the surface at all? It's buried way deeper in understanding these hidden psychological triggers, these little weaknesses, for lack of a better word, that women themselves might not even fully realize they have. I mean, think about it. Women, just like men, operate with subconscious desires, vulnerabilities, and emotional responses they can't always consciously control or explain. The core problem, though, is that most men are completely clueless about how to spot these triggers, let alone how to engage with them effectively to build that connection. It's like trying to navigate without a map. So today, we're going to dive deep, really deep, into 10 of these hidden female weaknesses. These are the psychological levers that once you truly grasp them, will fundamentally change how you interact with women forever. Seriously, it shifts everything. Okay, let's just get straight into it. First up, and this is a big one, is the power of emotional certainty. Look, women are often deeply emotional creatures. That's just a fact. But don't get it twisted. It doesn't mean they're irrational or out of control. Not at all. It simply means their emotions play a massive role in guiding their decisions, especially when it comes to relationships. And one of their greatest hidden weaknesses? This profound, almost primal need for emotional certainty. A woman fundamentally wants to feel emotionally secure with a man. It's not just about wild passion or constant excitement, though those are nice. What she craves deep down is stability. That rock-solid feeling that she won't be abandoned or left hanging when things inevitably get tough or messy. This is why, honestly, women are subconsciously drawn, almost magnetically, to men who remain emotionally unshaken. Guys who just exude this calmness, even when everything around them is pure chaos. Because a man who is overly reactive, moody as hell, or worse, emotionally dependent on her, that'll turn her off faster than you can blink. Why? Well, it signals weakness, plain and simple. She wants to feel safe, protected, and that safety comes directly from your demonstrated ability to regulate your own emotions, no matter what curveballs life throws. Think of it this way. If a woman ever feels like she has to be the one constantly stabilizing you emotionally, well, the roles have completely reversed. You've become the fragile one, and she's been forced into this dominant caretaker role. And trust me, that dynamic absolutely murders attraction every single time. Instead, the move is to embody stoic confidence. What does that look like? It means when she gets upset, you stay calm and grounded. When things seriously don't go your way, you don't whine, complain, or panic. When big challenges smack you in the face, you handle them with this quiet, unwavering confidence. The man who consistently provides that bedrock of emotional certainty, he becomes a safe haven, a refuge. And that's something women are instinctively, powerfully drawn to, often without even fully understanding why they feel so pulled towards him. Then there's this undeniable truth about basic human nature. We inherently value what feels scarce, what isn't easily obtained. It's why diamonds, ridiculously expensive luxury cars, or those limited edition sneakers people camp out for hold such allure, because they're rare. And guess what? Women operate on this exact same principle when it comes to attraction. A major hidden weakness? She's often powerfully drawn to men she can't completely have. Men who feel just slightly out of reach. Guys who are too available, too eager, or too obvious about their attraction? Honestly, they lose value in her eyes fast. She might appreciate the attention, sure, but she won't feel that burning need to chase it down. On the flip side, men who naturally create this subtle sense of distance, who have an air of mystery about them, they trigger something deep within her subconscious, a primal desire to close that gap, to figure him out, to win him over. This is why women frequently go a bit crazy over guys who seem somewhat indifferent or are genuinely hard to read. It's not that they like being ignored, that's a misconception.
It's because their subconscious mind automatically assigns a much higher value to something that feels uncertain, something they haven't fully secured yet. So, how do you actually use this? Well, don't always be readily available at her beck and call. Let her wonder sometimes when she'll see you next. Maintain your own life, your own passions. Have a strong sense of independence that doesn't revolve solely around her. Reveal yourself slowly, layer by layer. Don't just dump your entire life story and personality on her in the first week. Let her discover intriguing things about you over time. Because the moment a woman feels like she's fully won you, like she has you completely figured out and secured, that's often the exact moment her intense interest starts to fade. Keep just a little part of yourself, your thoughts, your time, just slightly out of her immediate grasp, and she'll likely never fully stop the chase. It's about being valuable, not just available. Another incredibly underrated trigger, one that flies under the radar for most guys, is the unspoken influence of a deep, controlled voice and a powerful, grounded presence. Seriously, studies have repeatedly shown that men with deeper voices are perceived as more dominant, more confident, and significantly more attractive. And this isn't just some random cultural fluke or preference, it's deeply rooted in our evolutionary psychology. A deep voice subconsciously signals higher testosterone levels and strong leadership qualities, traits women are naturally wired to find appealing. But hey, it's not only about the pitch of your voice, though that helps. It's about your entire vibe, your presence. Women are genuinely weak for men who know how to command a room effortlessly, without even seeming to try. Presence is this energy you radiate before you even open your mouth. It's how you hold yourself, tall, not slouched. How you move, with deliberate purpose, never fidgeting nervously or rushing around like a headless chicken. It's maintaining steady, confident eye contact without nervously looking away. It's speaking slowly, clearly, and deliberately like every word actually matters. On the other hand, weak presence practically screams insecurity. Think slouch posture, constant nervous gestures like tapping or shuffling, and a voice that sounds thin, shaky, or uncertain. These seemingly small details, they broadcast low confidence loud and clear, even if the guy himself doesn't realize he's doing it. If you truly want to captivate women effortlessly, mastering your presence is absolutely fundamental. The stronger, calmer, and more grounded your energy feels, the more powerfully women will be drawn towards you, often without you needing to say a single clever word. Your energy speaks volumes before you even begin.
Want to trigger a woman's deepest, most primal fear? Just walk away calmly, like you genuinely don't need her. Honestly, one of the greatest hidden weaknesses women grapple with is their intense emotional reaction to potential loss. It's simple, powerful psychology. People inherently value what they're afraid of losing. Yet, tragically, most men do the exact opposite when they sense a woman pulling away. They panic. They start chasing harder, begging, over-explaining, desperately trying to fix things or win her back. But here's the brutal truth. This desperate behavior only proves one devastating thing, that they need her far more than she needs them. And the second a woman senses that imbalance, that neediness, her attraction evaporates. Poof, gone. A man who can genuinely walk away without hesitation, without looking back pleadingly, that communicates the ultimate confidence. He's saying, loud and clear without uttering a word, I am not desperate for you. I have options. My self-worth and happiness do not hinge on your validation. And that mindset, that quiet assurance, it drives women absolutely crazy in the best possible way. If she truly knows, deep down, that you are willing to calmly leave the situation if she disrespects you, plays immature games, or pulls away without reason, she will naturally, instinctively value you more. It's crucial to understand this isn't about manipulation. It's fundamentally about self-respect and maintaining your own standards. The rule is beautifully simple. Be genuinely willing to walk away, and you'll almost never find yourself in the pathetic position of having to desperately chase. Let's talk about mission. A woman's biggest weakness, quite frankly, isn't necessarily a man's chiseled jawline, his fat wallet, or even his smoothest charm. Nope, it's his purpose. Women are instinctively, powerfully drawn to men who are driven by something bigger than themselves, something greater than just the relationship. A man who has a clear mission, whether it's building a business from scratch, mastering a complex craft, conquering a demanding physical goal, or pursuing a deeply held personal vision, automatically becomes incredibly magnetic. Why? Because purpose breeds intense focus, unwavering discipline, and rock-solid independence. These are qualities that women simply can't resist. They signal a man of substance and direction. The tragic mistake most guys make, though, they make the woman herself their entire mission. They prioritize her above absolutely everything else, showering her with attention until she feels like she's the only thing that matters in his universe. But here's the painful irony. This very act, this over-prioritization, is what actually kills the attraction, stone dead. Strange, but true. Women generally don't want to be the absolute center of your world. They want to be a welcome, valued part of something larger and more exciting that's already in motion. A man consumed by his mission doesn't sit around anxiously waiting for her texts. He doesn't drop everything important just because she happens to call. He is actively, passionately busy chasing his own vision, building his own life. And that inherent drive, that sense he's going somewhere meaningful, that is what makes him truly irresistible. So ask yourself right now, honestly, what are you actually building? What are you passionately chasing? If you don't have a compelling mission, a driving purpose, women will sense that void immediately, and they won't stick around for long. Purpose is magnetic. Aimlessness is a repellent. There's also this delicate, almost paradoxical balance when it comes to vulnerability. Get it wrong, and it backfires spectacularly. Too much vulnerability too soon, and a woman is likely to see you as weak, unstable, or overly needy. Too little, and you come across as emotionally unavailable, cold, or closed off. But women? Yeah, they have a definite weakness for men who intuitively understand this tricky paradox. Men who can be open and authentic, but only in a way that somehow reinforces, rather than diminishes their core strength. A super common mistake guys make is thinking that women want them to be emotionally expressive all the time, sharing every single feeling and insecurity as it pops up. Well, that's just false. While women absolutely do crave deep emotional connection and want a man who can connect on that level, they are instinctively repelled by men who overshare prematurely, constantly complain, or, this is key, seek emotional validation and reassurance from them. It feels like a burden.
The trick, the real art, is to show vulnerability selectively and strategically. You acknowledge your emotions honestly, but don't let them completely control your actions or mood. You might share struggles you faced, but ideally after you've largely conquered them, framing it as a lesson learned, not a current crisis. You reveal personal details gradually over time, building intimacy slowly, not dumping your entire emotional history on the first few dates. A man who masters this creates a powerful dynamic. He lets a woman feel genuinely special, even privileged, when he chooses to open up to her, precisely because it's not something he does with everyone or all the time. Crucially, he never shares from a place of weakness or seeking her to fix him. A man who overshares his deepest fears on date 2, dumps all his current problems on her shoulders, or constantly seeks reassurance about his worth, yeah, he'll come across as needy and emotionally unstable, which is a massive turnoff. On the other hand, a man who reveals his inner world thoughtfully, on his own terms, demonstrating strength through his controlled openness, that's incredibly attractive. Think of a man's emotions like a deep ocean, visible, powerful, mysterious even, but never chaotic or overwhelming. Women are weak for men who possess the inner strength to be vulnerable, but also the self-control to express it in a way that actually enhances their masculine presence, rather than undermining it. It's vulnerability with backbone. Here's something crucial most guys miss entirely. Women are subtly programmed to test your strength constantly. These tests aren't usually conscious or malicious. They're instinctive, subconscious ways for a woman to gauge if a man is truly strong, dependable, and emotionally resilient enough for her to invest in. You might not even recognize them as tests. A woman might deliberately challenge your opinions or decisions just to see if you'll stand firm or crumble and agree with her. She might create small, seemingly insignificant conflicts or objections just to observe how calmly or reactively you handle the friction. She might act a little disinterested or aloof at times, simply to see if you suddenly get insecure, needy, or start chasing her approval. These little probes aren't about her being difficult for the sake of it. Deep down, they are her ancient filtering mechanism to weed out weak men who can't handle pressure or uncertainty. If a woman senses even once that a man is easily rattled, overly reactive, defensive, or emotionally volatile in response to her little push, she loses respect for him almost instantly. The secret sauce? Never, ever react emotionally to these tests. Don't get defensive, don't argue angrily, don't sulk, and definitely don't start desperately seeking her approval. Instead, stay calm, centered, maybe even smile slightly. Remain completely unfazed. If she challenges your idea, respond with calm certainty, not defensiveness. If she pulls away a bit, don't chase. Just keep doing your thing and let her come back on her own. A man who consistently passes these little tests with quiet strength becomes the man she feels she can't easily replace. Remember this too. Women generally only test men they are genuinely attracted to or see potential in. If she's testing you, it's actually a good sign. Just make sure you don't fail the exam by losing your cool. The fear of rejection paralyzes most men, turning them hesitant and awkward. But the rare few who learn to embrace rejection with genuine confidence, they become practically untouchable in the best way. Women have a distinct weakness for men who handle rejection like it's absolutely no big deal, like it barely registers on their radar. When a man can shrug off a no, laugh it off easily, or even confidently turn it into a lighthearted joke, it signals something incredibly powerful: unshakable self-worth. Think about the difference. Desperate men fear rejection like the plague because deep down, they believe they have no other options. Their entire validation hinges on this one yes. Confident men simply don't care that much about a single no because they fundamentally know their own value exists independently of any one person's opinion. So if a woman rejects you, whether it's for a date, a kiss, or something more, the winning move is simple, calm, and confident. Just say something like, "No worries, totally get it. Your loss, though. All right, have a great day." Then genuinely laugh, give a confident nod, and walk away without a backward glance or a hint of lingering awkwardness. The absolute key is to never, ever let rejection visibly lower your energy, mood, or self-assurance. Don't slump your shoulders, don't look crushed, don't mutter under your breath. Maintain your frame. A man who can take rejection with effortless ease, grace, and even a hint of amused indifference is a man who paradoxically attracts women effortlessly. Why? Because rejection doesn't actually hurt you. It's your attachment to needing everyone's approval that causes the pain. When you truly stop fearing rejection, when it genuinely doesn't dent your confidence, women sense that powerful self-assurance radiating from you, and often they start chasing you instead. Confidence, especially in the face of a no, is magnetic. If a woman feels like she knows exactly how you feel about her at every single moment and precisely what you're going to do next, well, she stops wondering. And the moment she stops wondering, she almost always stops chasing. It's human nature. Women are weak for men who keep them slightly intrigued, who maintain an element of mystery and calm unpredictability. Now, this absolutely does not mean playing immature mind games or being deliberately dishonest. It means not being a completely open book, page after predictable page. Signs of a man who's way too easy to read? He always texts back within seconds, like he was just staring at his phone waiting. He gushes about his intense feelings way too early in the interaction.
He constantly seeks validation or reassurance about where he stands with her. It screams insecurity and neediness. On the other hand, a high-value man cultivates attraction precisely by not revealing everything instantly. He keeps a woman mentally engaged by being thoughtfully selective in what he shares and when he shares it. He responds to messages at his own reasonable pace, not instantly jumping every time his phone dings. He maintains this subtle air of calm unpredictability, not in a flaky way, but in a way that suggests he has a full, interesting life beyond her. He might be spontaneous in a fun way, or simply not telegraphing his every next move days in advance. Curiosity is the rocket fuel of desire. If she always knows exactly what's coming next, exactly how you feel, the thrill of the chase, the excitement of discovery is completely over. The man who can consistently excite a woman's imagination, who leaves her pleasantly guessing just enough, he's the man she simply can't stop thinking about when he's not around. Mystery, when authentic and not forced, is incredibly compelling. Finally, the ultimate hidden weakness women have. They absolutely cannot resist a man who demonstrates ironclad control over his own desires and impulses. Here's the stark reality. Most men are completely controlled by their desires. They chase women obsessively, desperately seek validation to fill a void, and let lust or short-term urges dictate their actions and cloud their judgment. But the men who truly hold the power, the ones women find irresistibly attractive, they are the ones who master their desires. They control them. Their desires don't control them. Women are inherently weak for men who don't chase mindlessly. They choose wisely. They aren't desperate for intimacy or validation. They approach it with discernment. They maintain high standards and boundaries. They exercise self-discipline daily. They don't let the pursuit of fleeting pleasure derail them from their core purpose or compromise their self-respect. There's a powerful paradox here. The moment you consciously stop desperately chasing women is often the exact moment they start genuinely chasing you. A man who can confidently walk away from a situation that doesn't serve him, who can calmly say no to something tempting but ultimately off mission, who consistently puts his own purpose and growth before his immediate urges, that is a man women will instinctively crave and deeply respect. Because true attraction, at its core, isn't about cheap tricks or memorized lines. It's about deeply understanding human psychology, mastering your own mind and emotions, and becoming the kind of grounded, purposeful man who naturally embodies strength, integrity, and self-respect. Cultivate these qualities authentically, work on yourself relentlessly, and women won't just passively want you. They'll actively feel they need you in their life. If any of this resonated, if you found real value in understanding these deeper currents, well, maybe stick around for more insights on mastering both life and genuine attraction. Until next time, stay strong, stay grounded in who you are, and remember, never chase. Build, attract, and let them come to you.